Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning Blaque in once again to the QueenAShakur TV show and to Authentic Black Goddess TV. I'm your host, QueenAShakur. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channels if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. You can follow me on Instagram at QueenAShakur. You can also follow the QueenAShakur fan page, and you can follow me on Twitter at DGoddess27. Okay, beloveds, I almost forgot that I'm live on both channels. All right. Okay. So hello, Mick, Christine, I am Bass, Lee, Sweet Great Mom, Rain, Love, Woke One is here. All right. D Hustle, Dragon Lily, Howard is Black. Okay. So shout out to everyone in the chat, everyone tuned into the Queen. Let's get ready to get into it. I see you, Capricornus. All right. Leo Lion, Honey 69. Okay. Silent D, Duzilla, AM. Lot Wizards in the house. All right. Let's get into it. Now, listen to this, people. Listen to this. Now, this is from the federal hate crime charges, right? The McMichaels, Gregory McMichael and Travis McMichael and William Roddy Bryan, that they're now currently on trial for because of killing Ahmaud Arbery. Feds say men chased Arbery because of the color of his skin. Okay, so I'm going to be reading from this transcript. Prosecutor says defendants had a history of using racial slurs. That's what the prosecutors say. And just to let you know ahead of time, this contains some disturbing content presented at the trial on Monday. Okay, so I'm just letting you know. Viewer discretion is advised. All right. This is what they discussed in trial on Monday. So let's get into it. Lights up, everyone. Please like and share. Now, the man who chased down and fatally shot Ahmaud Arbery sent messages to his friends with the theme of Black people being less than human. A federal prosecutor told this to jurors on Monday. Travis McMichael, on trial with his father and a neighbor who filmed the shooting, referred to Black people as animals, criminals, monkeys, and subhuman savages. Basically calling us absolutely what they are. I mean, look at their actions. It's all self-explanatory. Projecting clearly. This is what prosecutor Bobby Bernstein said during opening statements of the hate crimes trial. On February the 23rd, 2020, McMichael, his father, Greg McMichael, and co-defendant William Roddy Bryan joined in a chase of Ahmaud Arbery based on the color of his skin, says Bernstein. Now, from the U.S. Justice, Bernstein is from the U.S. Justice Department's Civil Rights Division. Now, all three men were convicted of murder last year and sentenced to life in prison. Now they face hate crime charges in a trial that was centered around race. Apologizing to jurors for the racial epithets she was about to recite, Bernstein quoted from text messages Travis McMichael sent to a friend. And it says, this is what the text messages say. 0 ninjas work with me. They ruined everything. That's why I love what I love. That's why I love what I do now. Not a ninja in sight. Now, Bernstein told jurors they will learn how all three defendants talked about Black people behind closed doors. She and Greg McMichael also used racially incendiary language, saying that, saying that she said that Gregory McMichael also used racially incendiary language, detailing an incident in which he allegedly told a colleague that he was glad that Atlanta civil rights leader Julian Bond had died. He said, he was nothing but trouble. Greg McMichael said this according to Bernstein. Those Blacks are nothing but trouble. Now, as for Bryan, shortly before Arbery's killing, he had learned his daughter was dating a Black man. In messages, Bryan repeatedly referred to that man as an N-word and a monkey. This is what Bernstein told the jury. She concluded by saying that if the unarmed Arbery had been white, he would have gone for a jog that afternoon and been home in time for Sunday dinner. Instead, he found himself alone and scared, bleeding to death in the middle of the street, Bernstein said. Defense attorneys acknowledged their client had said terribly offensive things about Black people. But that isn't why he decided to chase Arbery that afternoon, they argued. Attorney A.J. Balboa, who represents Greg McMichael, said the McMichaels tried to apprehend Arbery after seeing him run away from a home under construction down the street. Greg and Travis followed Ahmaud Arbery not because he was a Black man, but because he was the man illegally entering the house, said Balboa. Now, I want to tell you about something. You know, it's very important to have the transcripts when it's a federal trial, just like I read the transcripts to you from the Tasha K versus Cardi B trial, because in federal court, they don't allow you to have cameras and record the footage and all of that. So we can't get as in-depth a detailed look or insight as we did when they were tried by the state with their devilish selves. So Greg McMichael, he conceded, used the language that will make people cringe. But it is important to put what he said into context. This is what his attorney said now. I want him to make that make sense. How do you put that in context? Calling Black people the N-word and monkeys and all of that and said they're less than human. How do you possibly? I'm just curious. So all three defense attorneys condemned Arbery's killing while seemingly distancing themselves from their client's racist remarks. The killing of Ahmaud Arbery is an American tragedy, says Balboa. It was unnecessary, it was horrific, and it was the result of the actions of these defendants. But this isn't a murder trial, he told the jury. Amy Lee Copeland, Travis McMichael's attorney, said, I can't stand before you today and say my client has never said the N-word. I know she can, because we already had it on recording that he said it. So please miss us with all of it. Okay? You can't deny what's already been exposed. I mean, you can, but you look stupid doing so. She says, my client uses words that I don't use right and expresses opinions that I don't share. On the day of the killing, she said, McMichael was simply trying to be a good neighbor. Oh, really? Well, if he was trying to be such a good neighbor, I just have to ask the question, why wasn't he so concerned when he saw other people going to that construction site and peeping inside, even walking through and all of that? Oh, that's right, because those people were Caucasians like him. Pete Theodosian, the last attorney to address the jury, said he wasn't there to excuse or defend racism. The Augusta attorney, who represents Brian, called cops tropes, slurs. And called racist tropes, slurs. I don't know where I got cops from. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Called racist tropes, slurs, and opinions the lowest of human emotion. It's pathetic, he said. It's sad. Now, Theodosian said, while almost any homicide is a tragedy, this one is particularly awful. Ahmaud Arbery did not deserve the fate that befell him. He did nothing wrong. He acknowledged that Brian had used the language that he's embarrassed and sorry for. Please, he's hardly sorry. He said what he meant. He did what he wanted to do. And now that he's on trial, he wants to sit there and try to act like he wishes he never said those things. He's likely said those things all of his life. Please miss me with it. All of them have. Now they want to sit up here and mail-splain. So it goes on to say that he's embarrassed and sorry for it, but he contended that his client is not obsessed with race or defined by it. Of course he isn't. Now I want y'all to listen to the foolishness of this. He said his client is not obsessed with race or defined by it. Of course he's not defined by it. Only Black people are. Only those drenched heavily in melanin are defined by race. I mean, they call other people racist. You know, they have names for them, white, Black, or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're not defined by it because people don't target them for harassments, to obsess over, to culturally appropriate, to kill, to hunt, right? People don't target them, to discriminate against them, racially profile and be prejudiced against them, and plain out racist. People don't target them for that. So no, they're not defined by their race. So clearly, that was just an obtuse statement for him to even utter. I mean, please. So he goes on to say, On that afternoon, Brian saw a man who was being chased and assumed that he must have done something wrong. Well, why would he assume that? You see how the racist devils tell on themselves even when they're not even trying to? Even when they're trying to hide and cover up their racism, they're still racist. Please pay attention and let's break down what he said. He said, on that afternoon, Brian saw a man who was being chased and assumed that he had done something wrong. Why did he assume that? I'm so glad you asked, because he was black and he saw he was being chased by two Caucasians. So that's why he assumed that he had done something wrong. Would he have assumed the same if it were two black men chasing a Caucasian down the street as they jogged? Would he have assumed something was wrong then and helped the two black men and recorded it and helped them in the chase? Of course not. So once again, though they're trying to move themselves away from it being about the color of his skin, his melanin, they're just really proving that that's exactly what it was. So before openings, 8 white people, 3 black people, and 1 Hispanic person were chosen to serve as jurors in the federal hate crime trial. Now, 4 alternate jurors include 3 white people and 1 person who identifies as a Pacific Islander. The 16-member panel is made up of 11 women and 5 men, but neither the judge nor attorneys told them who was selected as a trial juror and who was an alternate. Now, last year's state trial became mired in controversy after defense attorneys used their allotted strikes to eliminate 11 of the 12 prospective black jurors from the qualified panel. That case was decided by a jury of 11 white people and 1 black man. Isn't that something? They almost had an all-white jury. Now, U.S. District Court Judge Lisa Godbey Wood has said that she expects the trial to last 7 to 12 days. The prosecution is expected to call their first witness at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. Well, there you have it, people. The nefariousness, the lies, and the victim playing. Okay, the mayo-splaining and the victim playing. How are you going out here chasing somebody down, hunting them like they were a deer in the woods, like they were a dog in the street? You're hunting them with guns, chasing them in a truck. You hit them, back them up into a corner and slaughter them as if they were a lamb. And then you want to act like you're the victim, like someone did you something wrong? Like you really, who made them come out of their house with guns that day? Who made them get in the truck? Who made them follow Ahmaud Arbery? If they thought he was a criminal, why not just simply call 911 and say there's a suspicious looking person in the area? Why did they do that? I'm glad you asked. Because they wanted to kill him. That was the whole thing. They were on the hunt, on the prowl. Okay? Their blood, lust, and thirst had to be quenched. And that's what they did. Now they want to sit here and play these foolish games and tell these insidiously obtuse stories about Ahmaud was trying to steal. Oh, he looked like a criminal. It had nothing to do with the color of his skin. Please miss us with all of that. The only reason that Ahmaud Arbery is dead is because of the color of his skin. That's not just why they killed him. That's the only reason they killed him. So with that all being said, Queen Adaya says, come on now, Queen, with the truth. Speak it. Thank you, beloved. So with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning Blaque in once again to Authentic Black Goddess TV. Please make sure you like and share this video. I'm going to be keeping updated on the trial as it proceeds. And make sure you follow me on Instagram at QueenAShakur, and also follow the Queen Shakur fan page. And you can find me on Twitter at TheGoddess27. With that all being said, have a lovely and beautiful day. And I hope to see you all later on this evening for your daily vitamins. All right? I'll talk to you all again soon. Peace. Oh, I'm sorry. I almost forgot. Make sure that you tune in to the original Queen Shakur channel at 1 o'clock. That's in like 10 minutes from now, because I'm going live on there to talk about Sam Brinton. Okay? You know, the man that Biden recently hired, the nuclear expert. We got to talk about that because people are going in on him. Now, some people are defending him, but there's a whole lot of people going in. So we're going to talk about it. And with that all being said, I hope to see you on the next chat. Peace.